Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Early Show. Today, I'm going to be giving you my top gym anxiety tips. First, I'm going to be going over my story and how my interaction with anxiety in a gym setting. And then, I'm going to be giving you my tips, and hopefully you can take some with you and use a couple of them.
Yo, she getting freaky in a limousine. Eyes looking Phoenician, she could be Lebanese. Shorty sweet and she sour, I call her lemon squeeze. She ain't what she seen, gotta be the ketamine. Never that, tuck the hammer in the leather strap. Keep it tucked for the suckers with the petty dabs, acting like they friends when they
So,
want
my story. I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I would show up to the gym high as shit. Yeah. So for the first year, I smoked. For the first year, I kind of got into the gym. I smoked before every gym session, down a C4, and then hit the gym. For the first year, for the first 6 months, for the first 7 months, it was good. I would have good sessions. By the end of it, I would sweat the weed out and sober. And one day, somebody said something to me, or I was just standing there high, like a high person does, and I started to get paranoid. When if you're smoking and you're not in the gym or you're smoking, you think someone's watching you or something, and you get paranoid. So I started to get paranoid in the gym, and when I mean that was hell, that was hell. So eventually I had to stop smoking weed before I went to the gym, but the anxiety and the paranoia stayed. So, and I want to say that's where it kind of started from, but I don't know for sure. But that is kind of how my gym anxiety started. And so my anxiety when it comes to the gym, it's silly almost. Like this story, they're all stories. Like my internal dialogue makes up a fake reality. It makes up something that isn't true, something that is, like, let's say I'm on the bench press, someone's on the bench press next to me. I'm thinking, oh, they think my socks look weird. Oh, they think I'm weak. Oh, it's all about what other people think. And I mean, when you think of social anxiety, that's kind of what social anxiety is. It's about what people are thinking about you or how you're acting in a certain situation. At least my anxiety. And when I searched up the definition of gym anxiety, it was the feeling of uneasiness or nervousness when working out in a public space. And the gym's like a weird place, man. You're surrounded by half-naked strangers, covered in sweat, grunting. Everyone's listening to their own music, using the same shit, going after a common goal individually. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't get anxiety. Like, I've had anxiety, I don't want to say attacks, but moments where I've had to leave the gym because I just couldn't focus on my workout. I was so focused on the fake reality that I've created. So, a lot of the tips I'm going to give you are tips that the goal of these tactics, strategies, is to bring you or me, when I use them, back to reality. Back to what's really going on in the situation at hand. So my first tip, let's get into the tips. So my first tip is music. When I'm in the gym and I start to get anxious, my internal monologue or my internal dialogue gets loud. And then you add loud, whether sad music, in my ears, it's loud. And so that just amplifies the noise going on in my head. Oh yeah, the tips. I forgot for a second. So music. One thing that sometimes when I realize I've been had a week or two that I wasn't focused in the gym, I'll stop listening to music. And when I stop listening to music, I come back to reality. All the thoughts that I'm making up get eliminated because I hear what's actually going on. I hear the conversations that are actually happening. I hear the noises that are actually happening rather than the noises in the music. Rather than the music almost clouding out reality. So that's tip 1 of music. Music, I have a few subpoints in it. Tip 2, I got from Rick the Stick, Eric Del Hagen. And it wasn't directly correlated to anxiety. It was more correlated to focus. But at the end, I'll hopefully explain, anxiety and a lack of focus go hand in hand. So Eric Buhagen's tip was don't listen to music for the first 30 minutes of your workout or until you feel locked in. So I'm just using me for example. I'll go to the gym, I'll warm up, stretch, get on the treadmill for 5 minutes, no music in. And when I feel that switch, and you'll feel the switch, you know when you're locked in and when you're not locked in. I'll feel the switch and I'll be like, oh shit, like it's game time. I'm gonna sneeze, man. Excuse me. You'll feel the switch of when you're locked in and when you're not locked in. And when I feel that switch, then I'm like, okay, now I can handle music. Now my mind's in the right place. Now I can get going. So I highly recommend trying that one if you can't go for a workout without listening to music. First 30 minutes, while you're stretching, while you're warming up, your first couple sets, don't listen to music. And when you feel that mental switch, you're like, okay, time to rock. It's game time. Then put the earphones in. 3, lo-fi, chill beats, easy music, calm music. A lot of times when the anxiety starts to kick in, it again, like I said earlier, it gets so loud up here. So when I have lo-fi music, lo-fi beats, or orchestral tracks, my inner monologue matches the music in my ears. It slows down. Let's say I'm listening to lo-fi beats. My voice inside my head will slow down. It won't be at the pace that NLE is. Let's say I'm listening to NLE. My voice is moving at NLE speed, but when I slow it down, put on some lo-fi beats, we're cool now. We're chilling. So try switching up the music, like the actual, I want to say frequency, but I know there's a better word, speed of it. And 4th, honestly, my favorite, I didn't know how well it worked for me, but listening to the same song. Recently, I've been listening to Lean's Gone Cold by Ray Shmurda. Lean's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. So I listened to that song for like 45 minutes. And it becomes like a constant in the back of my head. It becomes less music, more background noise. But like, it's good background noise because I love the song. This dude from RXD Radio, I know it was one of the hosts. I'm not sure which one. He says in airports, he'll listen to the same song on repeat. In an airport, I think his reasoning was, in an airport, you don't know what's going to happen. It's full of uncertain events. But when you're listening to the same song, it's a constant. You know what's happening. You know what's going to happen. Oh, it's happening again. Repeat. It's happening again. And I've noticed in the gym, it's a constant. When everything else is a variable, when things are changing, people are running around, things are like, I get overstimulated. I mean, I'm sure most of y'all do too. In a gym, a busy gym, if you go to the UO Rec, that's a busy ass place, man. It's a lot of overstimulation, a lot of noises, a lot of people yelling, a lot of people moving, a lot going on. But when you have that constant, it helps me stay focused. It helps me tune all the variables out and hone in on what is hone in on reality. So, my second, I'm going to keep it short, so I'm just going to give you 2. And so my second point, probably the most important. If you take anything from this episode, I want you to try this one. Write your workouts down. Hold up. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to enunciate it a little bit. Write your workouts down. This has been a game changer when it comes to staying focused and anxiety in the gym. I never go to the gym without my workout written down. And I'm not saying I keep a log. I don't track my weight. I don't have a folder at home. I bring them home and put them in. No. I just have my workout, what I'm doing today, written down. I'll even make them when I'm stretching upstairs, not listening to music. We're doing bench press first. Then we're doing rows. Then we're doing incline. Then we're doing pull. I'll have them written down. I'll even do the amount of sets, amount of reps in each set. I rarely do the weight because each day I'm able to move a different weight. But when I have these workouts written down, it eliminates my time to think. It eliminates my time for the negative anxiety thoughts to kick in. So going back to what I touched on first, there's this episode of RxD Radio. It's your lack of focus is killing your gains. I noticed when I get anxiety, like when I get social anxiety, any kind of sort of uneasiness, it's because I'm not focused. It's because I don't have a goal at hand. But when I have my 5 different movements I'm doing today, that's my goal. Once I finish that bench press, there's no time for me to be like, go hang. There's no time for me to go hang by the water fountain. There's no time for me to chit chat, finish bench press. Pull downs. I just finished pull down. Rows. Like it keeps you more focused. And when you're focused, you don't have time for that bullshit. You don't have time for that anxiety to creep in. So if I highly recommend, write down your workouts. You don't need to keep them. I see this chick in the gym, and I respect the fuck out of this chick. I think she's older. She has to be older. She's probably in her 30s. But she has her book, little, like the black notebooks, and she has notes, sticky notes. Looks like she keeps track of everything. Cool, man. That works for you. Like nothing against her. But I bring a little sheet of paper, ripped up piece of paper. Doesn't look pretty. Write down my sets, write down my reps, and I can change it throughout the workout. If I'm like, I can't really, my back's not feeling too great, let me switch up the movement. Dude, cool. But because I have that, I have a goal. And when you have a goal, it's 10 times easier to be focused. So, I'm going to leave it at that. So, if you take 2 things from this episode, 1, the music. Try going with no music. Try going with no music until you feel locked in. 3, listen to lo-fi, slow, orchestral music with no lyrics. So your anxiety matches the music and it just brings it down. 4, dude, listen to the same song. Find that song that really hits your soul and listen to it on repeat. It just fades into the background. And the second big point, write down your workouts. I swear, if you try those 2 gym anxiety tips to help you kind of highly recommend writing down your workout, switching up the music. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you today on the Early Show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Cole Early. See you next time.